Hello and welcome to another update video about GALA. Well, GALA had a substantial rally. I mean, I made a video about an upcoming breakout a few hours ago, and I assumed, we might reach maybe 3 cents, but that we would move up that much was, to be honest, unexpected. Overall, however, nothing has changed looking at the bigger picture. I mean, we did break out of this wedge. Now that is noteworthy. We broke above the descending channel, and that certainly has bullish implications, but it doesn't really put the daily chart into an uptrend or anything. Nothing has changed, so much more needs to happen to make that work. There's a few important levels I want to talk about in this video, but let's start actually on the lower time frame. We'll remember when we talked down here about this descending wedge and an upcoming bounce in a wave 4. That is happening now, and that has already happened for the last few days. It's always a shame that not so many people are watching the videos when not too much is happening, because that is exactly when you're seeing these breakout points and things are starting to fire up. And people unfortunately only watch when we've already made a run of 40%, and then oftentimes you have an upcoming correction anyway. Now, the latest move up forced me to relabel the count. There's two possibilities I want to talk about. Before, we had the possibility of just pushing a little bit higher and we would have had a nice 5-wave move up. Would have been ideal, impulse up, and then ABC down, entry point, and moving up. The small problem that we have now is that this move, I can only really, if I want to count it bullish, I can really only count it as a 1-2-1-2 setup. Now that's not a problem. It's not a major problem, but it means that we do not have a complete impulse yet. So that's the problem about it, which means, as you can see here, we have a 1-2 and the third wave nearly complete up here. And only in the subwaves we had here 1-2 and the third up, and now maybe in the fourth, and there will be another fifth. This means we haven't completed one complete impulse. The thing here, this move up, basically has to be a third wave. So I have to find a way to count it, and such a long wave 5 is just unrealistic. So I needed to relabel it in a 1-2-1-2, now a 3. And can we still push higher? Well, I hope so, because if we don't, then we have just an ABC here. Because now with the latest labeling, where did I move my ABCs? It could very well just be that. A wave up, B wave down, C wave up, and it could easily break down. And it still can, and that's why I mentioned to you, unless we really break above, where were we? What level was it? Here, 4.9 cents. There is still a strong view that we come down lower. Even above that would not be a confirmation that the overall bear market low is in. Far too, much more needs to happen here, which doesn't mean, this couldn't be traded. But to confirm the bear market low, it's way too early, because what would need to happen? We would need to move then above the 7.3 cent level, that wave too high. Because I can label the entire chart slightly differently as well, and I will tell you what could happen. But I just want to point, what we need to we need to distinguish between the short term and the long term. In the short term, we have a nice uptrend, absolutely, and I encourage everybody who looked at the signals, for example, who traded a breakout here, who went long here somewhere, to maybe move up the stop loss. Short term, this can still go a bit higher, and at the moment I don't have any sign that it has bottomed. In the previous video there was no sign that it has topped. In the previous video there was no sign it has topped, so obviously these can always extend out further, as I have tried to make you aware in the last few days across various videos, that when you have an impulse, this can of course extend out. And we will have these situations when the real bull market starts, and I don't believe it has started yet. When the real bull market starts, you will have 20-30% per day across the market. It will be absolute madness. I'm probably going to work 24 hours or 48 hours a day or something, because it will just be mad. But what needs to happen now? So I want to tell you what are the key support levels that need to hold now to enable GALA to still move up with a high likelihood in this fourth and the fifth wave. So let me go to the 30-minute chart. We'll see a little bit more detail. And this confirms my assumption. This sideways move looks like a wave 4 now. So what we have to do, we have to take the fib retracements of the third wave, and we have now perfect. We've come down to the 38.2 retracement. And I always try to say this is the ideal target for a fourth wave. Now it can go lower, but it should not go below the 50% retracement. So this is the area where I would expect it to reverse now. At the moment it seems to hold. If it drops below 3.18 cents and sustains below it, which is the 50% retracement, we have a big risk of this whole pattern failing, because as I said, it could just be an A, B, C and would now come down impulsively. As long as we're holding 3.18 cents, however, we can work on that and expect higher still in the wave 5. This would complete wave 3. Then there should ideally be a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 up. And I will make you aware in each step which key support levels need to hold. These are obviously the support levels where stop losses could be set below. Now again, it's entirely your decision if you do it and how you manage your trade. I can only tell you where I believe the price should hold or needs to hold, and where it could turn around in order to keep up the current wave count and enable the chart to move higher. Because if we drop below the 50% retracement, this can't really be a wave 4 anymore. Well, it could then be another 1-2 setup, and it would then be able to find support at 2.68 cents, but then it will get unrealistic. Then it will get unlikely, because having 3 1-2 setups in a row, I don't see this work out normally. Yeah, in a real bull run, yes, but I don't think we're there yet. So, and that's sort of how it should play out. If we now break below the 3.18 cent level, as I said, then we've got one more chance at 2.68 cents to hold. Below that, I would confirm that we are most likely, with a very high likelihood, going to come down, and this pattern is breaking. Nice volume today, however. Nice volume, biggest volume that we've seen in a long time. Let me go to the 1-day chart. So, biggest volume we've seen since... It looked much bigger on the 30-minute chart though. But no, biggest volume we've seen since November. So that is quite good. That is quite good. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, well, biggest green candle since November 21. Now that's good. Okay. Yeah, and obviously next resistances then here 4.9 cent and 7.3. And looking at a possible different interpretation of the chart, just to make you aware of a possible different count. A possible different count would include that. So let me just choose the right tool here. I just want to show it to you with a brush here. So yeah, wave 1 down, wave 2 up. But the possible alternative count would not say that this was the 3 and the 4. But actually all of the move down was wave 3. This is the 4th wave, and we would then come down in 5th. That's another completely valid count. And here, this would enable the chart, or this would enable the GALA price to push a little higher still, actually all the way up to 7.76 cents. And that's why this wave 2 high is so important, because it's pretty much there. Yeah, I mean here, if we count it like that, it could still reach 7.7 cents, and we would still have to expect a lower low. So that, I just want to make you aware of the very important structural levels that GALA needs to break in order to enable us to see this as more bullish long term. Yeah, short term is of course moving up nicely, and as long as we are aware of the key support levels, you know, this can be traded nicely. But bear in mind, we're now very overheated, and at some point this will come down, and we're massively overbought now on the 4-hour chart, as you can see here. On the daily chart, we are now also massively overbought. It doesn't look exactly healthy, because what normally happens then when it's calming down a bit, we're gonna see a little bit of a sell-off. But again, we'll see how long, if these support levels are holding. Certainly, most overheated market since November 21. I mean, things are starting to look interesting here. It's good for GALA though. It is really good, because it shows the sentiment is still there. You know, people are still there, and it's not forgotten, because it was starting to get quite depressing. So hopefully everybody's a bit happy. I'm happy as well, because my while ago I bought some of these NFTs of the I forgot the name of the game, the Mirandas, so at least they don't become worthless. Let's see how that is gonna play out. So hopefully you liked the update about GALA. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.